I think women are the easiest. If you want to feel guilty, it's the easiest to make a woman feel guilty. For a man, it'll take a long time for you to make him feel guilty. Huh? I don't think to be a happy woman, you need to become a man. I love writing. And I realized that I loved writing about, I don't know, some 20, 15, 14 or something is when I started writing. Actually, the first time I did write was when I produced Surma. So the first time I had ever seen CST was when we shot the film. I owe the city so much. I really do. I genuinely feel that. And to the people here. I think what they don't encourage is to discover yourself. That is very important. It's what I realize at this stage of my life.
Hi everyone, we hope you're having a great day. And to make it even better, we have the very lovely Chitrangda Singh joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Natasha. Lovely to be here.
Same here. And of course, we loved you in Modern Love Mumbai. What's the kind of feedback you have been receiving?
You know, the feedback has been lovely. And honestly, I was slightly nervous being part of an anthology because, you know, there's such amazing directors on this, you know, this particular series. So I was a bit like, you know, he was a little nervous that padani, you know, whether yours, you know how it is. Any actor would be. But lovely. And I think because it was the last, even my director was feeling a lot of pressure. Ki sara kuch dekh ke, then, you know, everything kind of comes together. And this is the last thing that people will be left with, you know, feeling. So a bit of this thing, but amazing response. I mean, we got an 8.3 IMDb cutting chai on, you know, so I was very, it's still moving up and down. I don't know what it is, but last I checked was that. So it's been a great response. And mostly like heartwarming, and people loved it, related with it, you know, and that it was so simple and it was told so simply. I think that the fact that there was no, like, kya hota hai na, sometimes mujhe lagta hai ki sometimes trying to write a great script, you tend to make it slightly complicated. Yeah. You tend to add that one complicated twist or a complicated emotion, or I don't know, the screenplay will be, you know, to shock you a bit. But this is just so simple, you know, and I think that is the beauty, and that's worked for me the first time I read it, and I think people also enjoyed that.
And like you said, a lot of women would relate with your character. You know, she's trying to balance her, of course, her marriage, her duties as a wife and a mother, and her dreams as well. So I think as women, that's something, you know, a lot of us face. Like, you know, are we doing justice to all the roles? So how did you connect with Latika?
But you know, the funny thing is, I was talking to my mother about it, and she was like, you know, it's not just your generation feeling it. I think any woman, any generation has felt it. It's just that today we talk about it. Today we are making a film or whatever about it. And there it was just, you know, hota hai. But everybody's in the same boat, you know. So for my mom, probably that generation was a bit like, but it's such a universal thing. I think men would probably also be going through it, you know, who've and they end up doing that post 40 or 50 when they take off with their boyfriends, and you know, you don't see them, and I think they come back to that and they end up doing that, living the life that they wanted to live. So I suppose everybody feels it.
Especially with women, we do tend to feel guilty, and that's something we need to kind of get rid of, you know, because that guilt is always there when we do something for ourselves, or the fear of being judged.
Absolutely. I think women are the easiest. If you want to feel guilty, it's the easiest to make a woman feel guilty. For a man, it'll take a long time for you to make him feel guilty. Huh? He's not going to feel. But for a woman, it's like that. It's so easy. And mostly we end up doing it ourselves only. We don't need anybody else to do it for us. So yeah, it's that's a sad part, that just, you know, thinking of ourselves or what we want to do makes us feel guilty. But I feel somewhere that's also because we are biologically kind of wired like that we will have more emotion. We will want to protect others. We'll want to give up for others. We'd want to put kids forward, whatever, you know, all of those things. It just comes more naturally to us, which is also okay. I don't think to be a happy woman, you need to become a man. But I mean, that's life. It's kind of a little complicated. But no, we shouldn't feel guilty at all. Not at all.
And for those who haven't caught the series yet, Latika wants to be a writer. So, you know, how much is Chitrangda into writing?
Oh God, I didn't think of this. Yes, I have also written. I mean, I love writing. And I realized that I loved writing about, I don't know, some 20, 15, 14 or something is when I started writing.
Okay.
Just out of, you know, just had a story, this thing. And actually, the first time I did write was when I produced Surma. So when I got to know about the story of Sandeep Singh, I wrote out his story like as a synopsis, and to pitch it to the studios. Because I wanted to pitch the story, so I did that, and I made a visual presentation of what the life of this man is. So it actually began there, which was 2014, I think. And yeah, I write. Yeah, so now I really enjoy writing. I do when I feel like I do. So yeah, that's another thing with Latika. Correct.
To Mumbai, locals play an important part in your story. So, have you traveled by Mumbai's public transport, and what are your memories there?
Well, I've never had to go that side of town or come here and go place. Like, didn't have to shuffle too much. I mean, I only came here after I got the film Hazaro, so I have not really had the chance to, shuttle like that. So the first time I had ever seen CST was when we shot the film.
Really?
I had never been. Forget the local train. I had never been on that station ever.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, and what a building. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. And then I started researching about it and how it got made and whatnot. And, I mean, it's just I don't even know if you know the story behind CST. Like this particular design and this particular structure was actually supposed to be in Melbourne. And the one that they have in Melbourne was supposed to be in India. So when the Queen was sanctioning the maps, the plans, because even that's called the Grand Central Station, and even this is called the Grand Central, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
No? So same names were there, and the same architect was there. And so I've been to Melbourne, and I've seen that station. It is much smaller. It's like the same structure, but much smaller. So something happened, some mix-up happened, and they approved this for Mumbai, and that got approved for there. So that is how we have the one which is actually supposed to be in Melbourne. I mean, it is. I was just like, wow. So I was reading up on that, and oh God, it's just beautiful how that place looks.
Yeah, I don't think amazing. A lot of Mumbaikars would know that.
Yeah, we had a great time shooting there.
But
yeah, it was such a lovely little detail, no? Yes.
Yes, that is, yeah.
I am. Matlab, for me, this place is my karmabhoomi, and it means so much to me. It is like given me everything. I owe this city so much. I really do. I genuinely feel that. And to the people here.
But are there these little things that you associate with the city, like cutting chai, for example, very unique to Mumbai. So what is it that comes to your mind when you think of the city?
When I think of the city, I think of the people. Yeah. I think of the energy. I think of the fact that I get a chance to meet so many creative people. Matlab, it's not possible for you to sit in a film set or in a meeting where there'll be a script writer, there would be a DOP, there would be a director, there'll be an assistant director who would probably have a script that he's written, actor. Like, it's just amazing, and there is something about that energy when you're in this kind of a milieu. And for me as an actor, which I didn't get in Delhi, like that's where I spent my college was there, and then I spent time there. For me, this city is all about that energy, and I think a lot of people feed off that energy. क्योंकि लोग इतनी मतलब कोई इंदौर से है, कोई लखनऊ से है, कोई साउथ से है, and like they just all come together. It is such a beautiful experience. I mean, it's tough to find it anywhere else.
And you are also a woman who handles multiple roles, right from your acting to, of course, producing as well, and which can be quite a risk, which you would know as a producer. So what is it that drives you to just go for it? Whatever you dream of, you just want to go for it.
It's not that simple. You make me sound like some, I don't know, Wonder Woman, which I'm not. I've produced one film, and yes, I would love to produce more. I mean, I don't know when that happens. If it happens, I think it will be some time. Which like in the time that I stayed away from films, also those 7-8 years, and then coming back and working, I've just fallen in love with the medium. So it's really not just acting and vanity van say to the set. It's not just that. I think I've slowly started to really enjoy how do you shoot a song, or how do you shoot a scene, how important it is to understand the emotion through the scene more than the lighting. There are a lot of these little details which is just so fascinating. So I produced. I mean, I've written. I don't know what will become of that, but I write, and of course I act, and that is my first love. So just being around this cinema, somehow the other is just, it's so satisfying. I really enjoy it. It's like you belong here.
And like we see in your story, like I think growing up, all of us dream of this, dreamy, perfect romance, but relationships do change, and we get more real as we age. So today, how do you look at relationships and love at romance?
I think what they don't teach you is how to be in love with yourself. I think what they don't encourage is to discover yourself. That is very important. Is what I realize at this stage of my life, because there is nothing more exciting than discovering yourself. Whether through travel, through different experiences, life experiences, not shopping.
Yeah.
Not
Shopping.
just shopping and hanging around and chilling around, but actually doing something, and like life experiences. I think the way you will discover yourself, even if you go bungee jumping, you go for a trek, you freaking go climb a mountain or a tree, whatever, anything. I think it is so important to discover yourself like that. And then if you fall in love, see, one, you're a very interesting person by then to fall in love with. Second, I think it's so much, your relationships will be so much more balanced. You won't feed off the other person, you feed off yourself. So I think for me at this point, I feel the one thing I'd probably tell people, what I think, is that fall in love with yourself, and not in a vain way where you start admiring yourself, but to discover yourself and allow yourself experiences, life experiences.
True.
I think that's going to take so much of your time. I don't think you'll have time for dating around and looking around. Yeah, it'll be fun.
And you have had these strong characters right from Bob Biswas and now of course Latika as well. So do you feel OTT is giving actors, especially the ones who were looking for something different, all these challenges that the web is throwing at you all?
I think the way audiences are now, I think dividing entertainment of what they want to see on the big screen and what they want to see at OTT is very evident. And the good thing is, on the other hand, for the same thing, is that there is enough content for both. So yeah, I mean, if you as an actor feel more, you fit more, or you find these parts more easily or more exciting, that happens. So yeah, for me, yes. But if there is like a big screen film, why not? Because again, that's another experience completely. But definitely, it's great to be in a time where it's not just formula roles, it's not just formula pictures. It is something which kind of, forces you to open another end of your brain and expect, I guess, you're ready to get surprised. So it's good to be part of things that can surprise you, and characters that can surprise you. So that is definitely a big plus with OTT.
Where do we see you next?
Well, we finished a film called Gaslight. We finished shooting in end of April. And that should release by the end of, I don't know, this year, I suppose. And I'll probably start shooting for a web series in the second half of the year. And so there's that.
Looking forward to all that. Thank you for doing this. Thank you.
Thanks. Nice chatting with you.
Bye. Same here. Bye.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.